I want to know if you are excited about the new Scarlet and Violet generation that is coming to the Pokemon TCG. Let me know in the comments section down below how much you're anticipating this release. It's coming. It is coming slowly but surely. Everything's kind of delayed a little bit, right? Pushed back a little bit. We've had so many releases over the past year. We just had Crown Zenith not too long ago to end the Sword and Shield block. But March 31st is the release day of Scarlet and Violet, and we're going to talk about it because there's a lot going on with Scarlet and Violet. Not only is MSRP going up, which we're not going to talk about in this video because we've talked about that in the past, but wholesale prices are going up, and we're going to talk about wholesale prices, give you a little bit of insider information, a little bit of backstory as to what goes on when running a business and managing costs and expenses and things like that. Also talk about allocations a little bit because allocations are going down in a lot of areas, which has me a little bit concerned, has me a little bit nervous. So we're going to jump into that. But before we do, I do have to give away this Unified Minds booster box because last Friday I promised I would, because we hit 91,000 subscribers on the channel. That meant we're giving away a Unified Minds booster box. So congratulations to Kazelt55, I think that's how you say it. Kazelt55, Kazelt55. You are the winner of a brand new Unified Minds booster box. All you have to do is just send me your details, send me your information. You can find me on Instagram at Danny.Phantump. You can find me on Twitter at Danny__O, or you can just shoot me an email, DannyPhantumpContent@gmail.com. Don't fall for the Telegram scams. Those Telegram scammers. Oh, they drive me nuts. But definitely send me your information. We're going to do our next giveaway at 92,000 subscribers. So we're going to keep giving away until we get to 100,000. So if you like the content, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment, leave a like. It goes a really long way for the algorithm. Help share the channel. But 92,000 subscribers is our next giveaway. So we need like 300 more, and that'll trigger the next giveaway. I don't know what it's going to be yet. But we just did Unified Minds. We got to keep like doing at least that quality. So it'll be good. But I want to talk to you about Scarlet and Violet, the introduction of art rares. We're not going to talk about the Japanese equivalents, Scarlet EX and Violet EX base. We all know those are going absolutely nuts. Those are unattainable for anywhere close to MSRP. I can't even open a box. I can't even open a pack because they're so expensive. It is so frustrating how expensive and how double MSRP or triple MSRP some of these are being scalped for. It drives me absolutely insane. But the best thing you can do is resist the FOMO, and the prices will come down. If we keep giving in to buying at those ridiculous costs, they're going to keep selling them at that price. So demand has to go down. They got to print more. It's crazy. But the art rares in this set look absolutely stunning. The full art supporter art rares look absolutely stunning. Scarlet and Violet is going to be a big hit. Really just continuing on with the trainer gallery feel. That alternate art feel has me really, really excited about Scarlet and Violet. I was very nervous originally about what they were going to do with the end of trainer gallery and how they were going to continue, because let's face it, the introduction of trainer galleries, pulling more cards in a booster box, it makes you feel better about spending money on a booster box. And then all of a sudden they announced that MSRP is going to be going up. It's going to be $4.49 for a booster pack as opposed to the $3.99 for MSRP. And I was like, what are they going to do? Are they going to go back to older pull rates where you're only getting 5 or 6 ultra rares in a booster box, or pre trainer gallery where you're getting maybe 7, 8 in a booster box? It just doesn't feel like enough. So the introduction of art rares from Crown Zenith carrying over into Scarlet and Violet is absolutely magnificent. Some of these full art supporter art rares, we're not going to go through them all. You can go to pokebeach.com, you can go to justinbasil.com, you can look at them on your own. I don't want to spoil anything from anybody. We're going to talk about the nitty gritty. We're going to talk about the nuts and bolts. We're going to pretend we're running a business and what it looks like from a allocation standpoint and a pricing standpoint, because wholesale costs are also going up. So we've talked about wholesale costs in the past booster boxes, roughly running for about $82 currently. That is going to change with Scarlet and Violet. Not only is MSRP going up, but wholesale costs from your distributor are going up as well, because distributors have to pay more to the Pokemon Company International. There's a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to the increase in MSRP. I can get behind it. I can understand it. I know inflation has happened. There's rising costs all over the place. Pokemon has not increased MSRP in a while. We talked about this like a year ago, kind of predicting this occurring. We knew that Yu-Gi-Oh! Increased MSRP. We knew Magic the Gathering increased MSRP, and we started kind of breaking it right here on this channel, breaking down the possibility of Pokemon increasing MSRP, because it had been so long. We went through when Pokemon increased MSRP in the past and the amount of years that have eclipsed since they raised MSRP. It's been a while, so it was a long time coming. But here's your booster box for Scarlet and Violet. Same amount of cards that you're going to be getting. Now the ETBs are a little bit better because they are increasing that a little bit with the pack contents and with the promo that's included, but the booster box is going to be the same thing. No, if you remember, Silver Tempest, the last main series Sword and Shield set, was short printed. It was less printed than what we had as far as allocation go. So when I talk about allocations and price points in this video, I am strictly talking about our allocations as the Card Coliseum. So myself and Papa Blastoise, we run a business called the Card Coliseum that is strictly online. I'm talking about our price points and our allocations. It could be different for your local game store. It could be different for Safari Zone or Game Nerds or whatever the case may be. They may have different distributors that they work with. They may have different numbers. I'm speaking completely to our numbers, so that way you can get a good understanding. I don't want to misconstrue anything or deceive anybody or anything like that. So use the information that I'm giving you to your advantage when it comes to making your pre-orders, or maybe passing on a set or ordering more of a set, or whatever conclusion you might come to. But it's important to put this information out there, I think, so that way you can make the best decision when it comes to spending your collecting dollars, because it can be an expensive hobby, and it's only going to get more expensive now with MSRP going up. So Silver Tempest being short printed, we talked about that on the channel, and look what's happened with Silver Tempest booster boxes. They have absolutely exploded in price. You could find them for roughly $100 right around release. They've blown up to about $130, very close to that MSRP standpoint. Now, it could be that they're going to reprint Silver Tempest in the near future. I don't know if they're going to or not. Nothing has been confirmed. Still no reprint news. Still no confirmation. No, Crown Zenith is still not getting another wave of Elite Trainer boxes as of yet. Just nothing has been announced yet. So don't let anybody tell you differently. A lot of distributors do not have that information yet. Obviously, that can change like that. Usually, that reprint window lasts about 3 or 4 weeks before they actually circulate it out to the field. So it looks like at least for a month yet, we're not going to be getting any additional reprints. That could change once Scarlet and Violet releases. They might reprint some of the older Sword and Shield sets or some of the newer Sword and Shield sets. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, with Silver Tempest being shorter printed, it looks like it's going to carry on with Scarlet and Violet. This could be because of a multitude of reasons. They might be printing less because they are anticipating not selling as many because MSRP is going up. They could be printing less because this is just their new allocation ideology. Maybe people are moving more towards singles and not buying as much sealed product with the higher MSRP cost. They might not want to do it. Maybe they were overprinting for a while and they're trying to find that happy medium. Whatever the case may be, it's going to be the same as Silver Tempest as far as what our allocation numbers look like. So a little bit less than what we saw with Lost Origin, less than what we saw with Brilliant Stars, less than what we saw with Astral Radiance by quite a bit. But definitely very, very similar to what we saw with Silver Tempest. Obviously, the main difference is the price points are up 11%. So wholesale pricing going up 11%. So you can do the math, $82.50, $82 roughly what it costs for a wholesale booster box. You add 10, 11% onto that, and that gives you a good understanding of what your LGS is paying for a booster box at wholesale. So that means when you're looking at $100, $105 booster boxes like what we saw in the past with sets like Silver Tempest, that's pretty much a break-even point right now for a lot of LGSs once you factor in shipping and fees and things like that. You figure 3% fees if you're selling just on a normal platform like Shopify or an e-commerce website, 13, 14% fees if you're selling on eBay or Amazon or TCG Player. Costs go up quite a bit. That's why you have price points on TCG Player frequently for sealed product that's a little bit higher than what you'll find on other outlets. $129.26 is currently the lowest listed price for a booster box on TCG Player. You'll be able to find them cheaper than that. I know Safari Zone had them cheaper than that. I know Game Nerds had them right around $110 or so not too long ago. If you look for a case and bundle things together, you'll get a little bit better of a discount because you're buying more in bulk. You're buying a bulkier quantity of 6, which makes it a little bit easier for shipping costs and things like that. So you'll be able to find them closer to maybe that $100, $105 per booster box, somewhere in that area. But with it being a little bit shorter printed, definitely start looking around. Definitely, I'm not saying go out and buy right now. We don't even have pre-orders up yet, but definitely start putting feelers out there to get a good idea of what price point you're willing to pay. I would assume you'll be able to find these pretty well for about $110 to $120, right around that $115 area for quite a while up until release day, and then you might see them go up a little bit. It really depends on what demand looks like for this set, and it wouldn't surprise me if the set gets a lot of demand because of the art rares, because of the special art rares. We saw what happened with Crown Zenith selling for well below MSRP basically until release day and then starting to skyrocket quite a bit. We saw what's happening with the Japanese variants of Scarlet and Violet. Those have obviously exploded in price, so definitely keep an eye out there and make sure you stick to your limits. Don't spend, don't overspend. Remember, like I said, by overspending, you're just feeding into that price point. But remember, the new MSRP price point is about $160. What's important is what you're willing to spend Not necessarily, don't worry about MSRP or anything like that. With that being said, let's move forward to the Elite Trainer boxes. We're actually getting 33% more Elite Trainer boxes. So the same amount of booster boxes, but 33% more Elite Trainer boxes. These Elite Trainer boxes look really cool. There is going to be a higher price point on these. They do have 2 additional packs, I believe, is what is going to happen in that promo card that's going to come with them. So they're adding a little bit to the ETBs to make them more worth your while. Your lowest price point right now is $47.56. So right around that new MSRP point. That's from Legit Games. And then there's a couple other options. You can probably find sealed cases and loose ETBs for quite a bit cheaper. Your price point, this one's actually going up significantly. This is the biggest jump I think we have out of all of the Scarlet and Violet products. This is moving up 13%, but it does seem like there's going to be a lot more. ETBs in the past have been reprinted to oblivion. We saw it happen with Evolving Skies. We saw it happen with Astral Radiance. We saw it happen with Brilliant Stars, to the point where basically Elite Trainer boxes are selling for $24, $25, $26, which is very close to that wholesale price, because there was just so many of them out there, and it's a lot better of a price point for the average consumer because booster boxes are just so expensive. If we look at the sleeve boosters, I did things a little different. I took sleeve booster cases based off of what is being listed currently on eBay. There's only a couple of them out there. Your price point on these is going to be $4.49 for MSRP. This is what you'll find at Walmart or Target, or you can find them probably for a little bit of a discount in a 144 count case, a sealed case. The quantity for these, we're getting 40% less of these sealed cases than what we got with Silver Tempest, so quantity is definitely going down, focusing more on those Elite Trainer boxes, focusing more on those booster boxes. So that tells me that they're going to feed a lot more into these marketing companies that are stocking retail stores to make sure that the average consumer can go out to a retail store, a big box store, and have product on the shelves. It makes perfect sense to me while they would start cutting down on allocations for distributors, for LGSs and things like that, because they want these to be available. The space at a big box retail store is much less significant than what you would have at your local game store. So putting a bunch of booster boxes out at a retail store doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Putting a bunch of ETBs out doesn't make a whole lot of sense because they don't have the space like what you would have at an LGS, because there's just that dedicated shelving unit, that POG, that's pretty much going to be for trading card games. And once you put a bunch of ETBs out there, you have to limit yourself, to 6 or 8 at a time. So it makes sense why they would start focusing more on these smaller products like these, like the check lanes, like 3-pack blisters. So your price is going up 8%, not too much of a spike there, but quantity going down significantly. The the Scarlet and Violet build and battle box, so build and battle boxes, down 33%, at least specifically for our store. Now this could be up if you own a local game store that's brick and mortar and does do pre-releases. I'm very curious to know what your allocations look like for this, because it wouldn't surprise me if yours might be up a little bit as Pokemon starts leaning more towards introducing competitive play into local game stores again. So having sanctioned leagues, a lot of people assume that sanctioned leagues, league cups, league challenges, things like that might start up again with the release of Scarlet and Violet, in which case they would probably want a lot more people to go to their local game store to participate in pre-releases, in build and battles, and things like that. Price is only down 5% for these, so not a huge hit on these, but the quantity down 33%. You can see the lowest listed right now is by MVP Sports and Games at $29.38. This is a cool little thing. It comes with 4 packs. It comes with a pre-release pack with a promo card and a bunch of things that you would use then to build your pre-release deck. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't gone to a pre-release, I highly recommend it. Scarlet and Violet's going to be a blast to do. And we've got the 3-pack blisters here. These are going up a little bit in price. You're looking at about 7% of an increase on these. Very cool artwork with that Arcanine. I'm really excited about the Arcanine that's coming out in Scarlet and Violet. I just wanted to throw that in there. Your lowest price point right now, looking at $15.97 on TCG Player. Quantity is remaining the same for allocation purposes. Wholesale costs look like they're up about 7%. Build and Battle Stadium, same thing as what we saw with the Build and Battle boxes. Now, the pre-release stores, the brick and mortar stores that are allowed to have pre-releases, they get these products about 2 weeks ahead of time, where your online LGSs such as myself, we will get these 2 weeks after release day, same time as what you'll see them at GameStop or Target or places like that. So Build and Battle Stadiums, the wholesale price is actually staying the same on these, but the quantity way down. You're looking at about a 40% drop in the amount of quantity, the amount of units that we're receiving on this. So it wouldn't surprise me, again, if your brick and mortar local game store is going up a little bit, because they want to encourage players to start coming back to their local leagues. If we look at the booster bundles, a lot of people not super excited about about these with Silver Tempest because they were not happy with the pull rates. We did a pull rate video on this with Lost Origin. The booster bundles ended up being just a little bit better than what we saw out of booster boxes, but more so in the Radiant collection or in the Trainer Gallery collection. You got more Trainer Gallery cards. You got more Radiant cards than what we got in booster boxes. Your lowest price point on this right now is $34.22. The quantity on these allocations are the same. They're staying the same price, however, up 13%. So very similar to what we saw with the Elite Trainer boxes. That makes sense because you're going up 50 cents per booster pack. These only have booster packs in them, just 6 booster packs. So you're looking at an increase of 13% from the wholesale mark. And then finally, we have the check lane boosters. I'm not a huge fan of these. It's a really cool pin with the Fuecoco on there. I love the pin or the coin. I think that looks really, really cool. The promos are cool, but I just never have good luck with these. I've done pull rates on these before, and I've just like cases open. It's been nuts. These come in huge cases. There's 288 in a case. We're just looking at singles right here, $7.93. These get printed pretty much at the beginning of a release of a set, and then they don't get printed after that. So if you're keeping something sealed, usually the check lane is not a bad way to go. Quantity on these is staying the same, but the price is going up 9%. So wholesale costs on these going up 9%. So for the most part, those bigger things pretty much staying the same, but some of those other ancillary products like 3-pack blisters, sleeve booster packs, for example, those are starting to go down in allocations. Like I said, maybe feeding into those retail stores more with the pre-release stuff, maybe more focusing on the brick and mortar, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens in Scarlet and Violet moving forward. But do remember that the wholesale costs are going up as well for your local game store, so they're going to have to pay more, which is probably why they're going to have higher price point. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're scalping these. They could be, but right now it doesn't necessarily mean them. But I do want you guys to start focusing a little bit on Scarlet and Violet. I know it's still almost 2 months out yet. We still got a lot of time, but definitely start paying attention. Now you should be able to get a much better understanding of where the basement is, so that way you can understand where LGS's basically break-even point is going to be for this new MSRP increase. So that way you can get a good understanding of, okay, well, before, spending $110 on a booster box wasn't necessarily ideal, but now I know my local game store really isn't making any money or much money at all selling at that price point. So I'm okay paying that price point knowing that MSRP has gone up. But definitely let me know in the comment section down below what you think, how your excitement level is with Scarlet and Violet. A lot of really cool things as we move into this next generation. I think Pokemon's hitting a home run with it, but it'll be up to us as the consumer to decide how we want our pocketbooks, our wallets to speak, because we do have that price increase now. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. I hope you enjoy the content. If you do, please hit that subscribe button down below. Like I said, we'll do our next giveaway at 92,000. So we need about 300 more. Share the channel, leave a like, leave a comment. Those things go so far for the algorithm. It really helps spread the algorithm or the channel out there more. Thank you guys so much for everything. We'll be back on Sunday with another video. Until next time, peace.